Obama left knowing that Russia was meddling already. Didn't even say anything. It came out after the fact that Donald Trump got elected. And Obama's answer to that, how did he kind of put it? Well, the reason that I didn't do anything was because, I didn't want anybody to think that I was meddling in the election over here. Now, that was me doing Obama. Okay, probably wasn't a good one, but okay. Let me make myself clear. That's what I said. All right, Obama. Thank you. So they're having a field day with all of this. No, I mean, you give them an inch and the world is coming to a complete end, a complete standstill. It is lunacy, liberal lunacy gone amok. Yeah, there's Republicans, but look, you get Rand Paul coming to the aid of the president. They're not all freaked out. There's realists out there, and I believe that Rand Paul is overall, a sensible guy. And he's siding with the president on this one, and others, many others. But you know what, folks? Don't be dismayed about this whole thing, and don't be naive. Again, they never, ever, ever did this stuff to Obama. They never spoke this way on PBS. I mean, there's 4 or 5 PBS channels in the Tampa Bay area. And when you listen to the newscast here, they don't say everything's critical of the president. Every single thing that he does, they are critical. The mainstream media beats up. No wonder on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. No wonder the monologues on mainstream TV that they spend 15, 20 minutes practically, it seems like it, berating the president. You want to talk about foolishness? This stuff goes around the world. They make their own country look stupid. They do it to themselves. If the president does well, we all do well. But that doesn't make any sense to them. Not at all. And everybody's become more or less a Sunday morning quarterback after Sunday night's game. You can tell what a fan I am. I love the Super Bowl, though. Yeah. But seriously, everybody's got an opinion. And of course, and they're right to have that opinion. And you say, but Donald Trump, he just makes it so easy. Stick to the teleprompter. Well, they said that to Bush. Do I think that he misspoke? I mean, people are just asking me right now. What do you think, Keith? And listen, this is why I do the radio show. I have thought about it. I honestly believe that he's not thinking like a politician. I believe that he's going back to The Art of the Deal, a book worth reading, a very, very valuable book. And if you read it, The Art of the Deal, you'll understand how Trump thinks. You'll understand his mindset. I think a lot of these liberals that hate him would appreciate him. But these are the same liberals that praised him on The Apprentice, praised him at parties, were at the Trump casino during the fights, during the Miss America beauty pageants in Atlantic City. Pictures taken with him, loving on him. But now, because he's one of these conservatives, ooh. And like I say, the love fest of Obama after 8 years, and somebody's cracking the whip and actually taking some action and not, thinking that the whole world is going to sing Kumbaya. It's a nice feeling that we would all get along. But you cannot see that taking place with liberals these days. They are getting more hatred. And it is hateful. When you start making up things and repeatedly, hatefully making up things and fabricating the news. And wouldn't it be nice to say, what are the chances of the strategy of Donald Trump being unconventional, just like most of his campaign rhetoric was, and just like how he got into the White House after all of those establishment GOPs went back to their houses? Maybe Donald Trump has got his style of his own. Well, apparently he does. apparently he will continue being Donald Trump. And listen, if you feel like you can stop him in 2020 and you don't like Donald Trump's style, you don't think that Donald Trump is good for this country, then you have a shot at reelecting. Either he's going to be reelected. I think he's going to be reelected. I honestly think it'll a landslide. I predict it here. And I predicted his election. And I was on so many different talk shows interviewing me about this, and they all thought I was nuts. But I said, no, I just saw the reaction. When he came here to Florida, and he came to the Florida Fairgrounds, and to see the reaction, and just to see the same reaction and the same synergy, folks, people are fed up. People are tired of the political correctness, because it's the political correctness, it's the establishment that thinks that they have it all figured out. And the point is, as they are comfortable making their salaries and their lifelong appointments, most of America, middle America, is going to the birds. It's the infrastructure is deteriorating. It's rotting. Trump talks about it. The trade deals are just awful. We're getting taken advantage of at the border. It's just problems that have been swept under the carpet for so long, and people don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it because it's too big of an issue. Big things take a lot of work, and some people just don't want to do it. They'd rather just have a socialist state and have the state take care of them. And folks, socialism doesn't. It's not a good thing for this country. That's not America. Entrepreneurship, that did it. Is there greed? Of course. Everybody knows that. Is there corruption? Of course. And that's at every level, unfortunately. But the excess in the media today, I am very saddened by how networks and newspapers have become so consumed about smearing our current president. Imagine if they did that to Obama. Imagine. It was a love fest for 8 years. Did they do that to Bill Clinton? No, he was impeached, but they didn't remove him from the White House, did they? Now, if Billy Slick Willie did that now, do you think they would have kept him in the White House? Well, now, I don't think so. He'd be out. So, things have changed. Things are changing. And people that don't play too well with women and abuse their power, well, they shouldn't be in power. People that abuse money and abuse their power and hurt other people, they don't deserve to be in power. Folks, you got to read the newspaper. You got to be informed about what's going on all fronts. And to make a jerk of the hip reaction remark about this president being one thing or another, it's not productive. It's just so much waste of time. It's crazy. I got to tell you. And I never watched too much of the network, but I'm glad that I absorbed some of it. But I was mystified. I thought, really, if there was any redemption possibly of trying to think that there might be something good in this president, watching those networks, you would think that this is the worst thing that ever happened to our country. And they don't report it as news. They report it as facts. Who, what, why, where, and what. I mean, they solidify it as if this guy's a goner anyway. And assume what he's doing. Assume what he should and shouldn't do. Listen, the last time that I checked, and just to kind of break this down a little bit, if you work for a company and the boss decides to go a certain direction, and you get paid by this person, do you call him out on the carpet in front of everybody else? Okay, this is the president of the United States. Oh, yes. Is he open for scrutiny? Of course. Of course. And should he have been scolded for the remarks about what he had said about, them not being, part of the whole thing? I think he misspoke. That's just, I really feel that he knew, he knows. But I believe that his intention was not to call him out on the world stage yet. Just yet. Because the investigations are still going on. And there's a lot of things that Trump is getting up to speed with Vladimir Putin. Folks, do you realize that we both have 70-80% of the most nukes in the world between the two? We are the two major superpowers. Okay, there's others, there's India, Syria, there's other people that have nukes, but the world, Russia and the United States have the most, and the most to lose. We don't need to have things firing off out to sea. We don't need our Navy personnel in danger of getting flybys over big fighters or whatever from Russia. We don't need this antagonistic behavior. We need to work on something, whether we're always going to be rivals of this. I have no idea. But we don't need to be in an Iranian type of place with them to where we don't trust anything that they say, anything that they do. And I have to make this known about meddling. The United States has meddled in other countries, folks, for years, and has done this in countries all over the world. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Nation building, all this stuff here. We have had our own pick of the litter when it comes to Russia and with our spies. Oh, yeah, we spy on them. They spy on us. This has been going on, folks, forever. We have spies. They have spies. That's what spies do. Some of them get caught. Sometimes they don't. But what Russia was wanting to do is they are trying to exert their power on the world stage. And folks, they are, as far as military, somebody to reckon with. This is not little Rocket Man. This is a lot more serious. And I think that Trump's approach, I definitely think it's a businessman. All right, let's get into another story. Do you like Turkey? All right, I want to talk a little Turkey just for a moment here and get off the subject of nukes and Vladimir Putin in the Lion media. There is an outbreak linked to raw turkey. It's been tracked to 26 states, where at least 90 people have become ill, 40 of them hospitalized. Salmonella outbreak, unfortunately. Centers of Disease Control Prevention said that this is laboratory evidence confirmed that raw turkey products from a variety of sources have been contaminated with salmonella readings. The agency said people who became ill have reported eating different types of brands of turkey products. The CDC said that's investigating and putting people on notice that two ill people lived in a household where raw turkey pet food was fed to pets. Investigators found the outbreak strain after identifying it in samples taken from a raw turkey pet food, raw turkey products, and live turkey. So it's affected some pet food and some people food. And here's the confirmed illness span, the country, okay? Alaska, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin. And according to, it seems like the entire United States just about, right? According to information released by the CDC, Minnesota led all states with 13 cases, followed by Illinois with 9. Texas and New York both had 8 cases. Interesting enough for WKAL country here on, in Utica, 1450 WKAL. The first person connected with the outbreak was diagnosed in November. An outbreak has continued through July, with at least one person getting sick each month, according to the CDC. So the USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service said on Thursday of this past week, it is also monitoring the salmonella reading outbreak that the agency said its announcement that individuals should wash their hands thoroughly, listen up folks, handling any raw meat and poultry products and cook those products at a safe temperature internally for